Hey everybody, Johnny Lazer again, and today I came up with this idea, a little adaptation from the box program. I would like to create a box, angle the top a little bit, carve my house number into it, put some mounting holes on the back, and then I'm going to cut 3 holes on the top. And the holes, I went to the dollar store and I picked up some solar lights. So I'm going to put 3 of these on top, and on the front I'm going to put my house number with a clear acrylic on it and hang it up on the house. Stain it, put it together, hang it up on the house, so when it gets dark, the house number lights up at night. Plus, I'm going to show you this formula I found on the internet on how to waterproof stuff, and it works very well. It's not expensive and it goes a long way. You can waterproof anything. I've waterproofed my bench outside. I tested it out even on a concrete block. Water beads like you wouldn't believe after this is dry. We used it at my ex-wife's house on the gazebo when I rebuilt the bottom, prevent the rotting, put the new wood on top. Everything was stained, everything was used. I use this stuff for everything on top. Once it's stained, now the only thing is it takes a little while to dry, but after that, it's waterproof. All right, let's get into it right now. Okay, before we begin, we have to know the size of the box I'm going to make. So I'm going to be making it 4 inches tall by 4 inches wide by 7 inches long. Okay, now I also measure the diameter right here of my solar light because I want this just to slip in. All right, not very much play, just a little bit of slipping in. We'll be doing that in XCS. Okay, now the mounting holes, we're going to use the pear-shaped mounting holes on the back. We put 2 screws on the side wall, so I got my 2 screws. All right, it's going to be a round so that the head can clear, and then a smaller oval here, so you put it on the wall, it slides down, it doesn't be removed. All right, so we got to measure everything. So I made my design. You know, make a little design. Always helpful. Keep a notebook beside your Xtool Laser with a pencil because you always think of things. I've written down the diameter of the solar lights, my 4 inches wide, 7 inches long, and 4 inches tall. And the thickness of the wood is 207 thou. So not quite a 1/4 inch, but bigger than 3/16. Now we got to convert everything to metric because the box program uses all metric. All right, first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to that box website, which I'll leave a link below so anybody can find it. Universal boxes. Okay. Now what we want to do is we want to go over here. Settings for the lid. Type of lid. It's going to just be a flat lid. And what this does, we glue this on top of that, and it just sits on top. Now, we are going to use, everything else is looking good. We are going to put in the thickness of our wood, in metric, of course. So 5.2, 578. That's the thickness of our wood. Inner is going to be a corner. Now the burn for the 20 watt is, I have 2 thou as my kerf. So that translates to 0.0502. I'm going to keep it a little on the tight side. It's actually around 508. So just to keep it a little tight. X is going to be the 4 inches plus double of our thickness. So we have 4 inches on the inside. That's going to come out to 112.1156. The Y is going to be the length, 7 inches, converted 177.8 plus double our thickness, both sides. So it's 188.3156. Whoops. 188.3156. And the height is going to be the same as the width. 112.1156. And right off the bat, I can see that it's not quite correct. I mixed these two up around. X length is 188.3156. And the Y is 112.156. Whoops. So, if we take a look at this over here, not bad. Okay, let us download this. We have it download, so now we can leave here. Here in our download, we'll rename it Housebox. And we'll bring it into our Xtool projects under boxes. Okay. So let's go into our XCS. We need to do a new project. We'll set up our material. We'll just use 3mm basswood. And we'll bring in the SVG file, Housebox. And we want to scale it to its original size so it doesn't make it smaller. There we go. Now, we're going to ungroup the whole thing, because we want to take all the lettering, this lettering here at the bottom we don't need. Take all the lettering and change the output to off. The lettering is just for us right now for reference. Okay. We don't don't need the bottom box either, so we'll get rid of that. Now, let us group each one's individually. That way we can move them. Just to double check here. This will fit like so. So that we'll have the overlapping thickness will fit on top of the box. All right. So just move that out of the way. Whoops. Didn't group the last one. All right. Now, on the top, we're going to be putting some holes. So let's just put these back on top of each other real quick. And let's do a measurement just so we know. Should be 7 inches. Yep, 7 inches. And 4 inches there. All right. Now, for the top of the holes, I'm going to be going 1.320 diameter. So I'm going to be making a circle. One 0.320. That way, I'm going to unlock it. 1.320 this way as well. And we're going to do that 3 times. Now we want to move one set of circles. We'll move the top out of the way here. Put one on center. You know what? It's going to be easier if I put this all on a different layer. Let's put this on blue. Oh, no, there's something already on blue layer. We'll go to green layer. Then we'll just turn everything off. There, now we don't have to deal with this. Now let's put this in on the center. There we go. About 859 thou. There we go, 800 thou apart. All right. So let us, I'm going to copy this also onto the other layer here. Let's move this back to the black layer. We'll group the holes together. Copy them. There. Now we'll move this to the black layer as well. Let's turn on the black layer. There's the lid bottom. We'll group it. Now we can just move that out of the way. Now we can take this and bring it to our top part. On center. There we go. Let's move all of this to one layer. Put it on the black layer. That's the back. And that's the front. So let's move the front to another layer. Put that on a separate layer on red. We'll turn off all our other layers except our red layer. Now we want to create numbers on here, so let's do some texting. And my house number is 7461. Now if we cut this out, the middle of the 4 will fall out. The middle of the 6 will fall out, so we have to change this slightly. And I like to use, where is it? The one that says stencil. Stencil. There we go. This we can cut out and not have a problem with stuff falling apart. We can create it bigger. There we go, 7461. And we will save that like that. Move it over to the back to the black. Now we're going to take our back and put some mounting holes in it. Put that on red. Now, we're going to do circle, and the size of the hole is 350 thou. So let's change this to 350. And we'll change that as well, so that we have a hole. Now the top hole is 140 diameter, so let's copy this like so. We're going to change, we're going to lock the aspect ratio so that now, whoops, I said lock the aspect ratio. There we go. Now we're also going to create a rectangle. And the rectangle, we're going to unlock that. The width of the rectangle is going to be 140 thou. And we're going to go 1/2 inch. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to put this like so. And then we're going to take this one and we're going to cut that off like that. Alright, now let us save our project before we do anything else real quick. Let's move this down. That's better. Now, if we unite them, that's what I want. And we'll unite this as well. So now what we have is with the screw, the head of the screw will fit in and it'll slide up. Now, we got to figure out where we're going to put this. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a rectangle, which we'll delete after. Since we're 7 inches wide, let's go 6 inches. Six inches. First off, let's see here. This is 4 inches tall. So we'll go 0.5. Yeah, a little too. 5 inches. That's better. So. There's that. We want to center that tab here. Which it doesn't want to pick up. Like so. Copy the oval. Put one here. And one here. Let's move over here real quick. Now we're using this as a reference. Center of that. and center that. Now we can delete this rectangle because we don't need it. And that's how we're going to hang our box. Let's group it and transfer it back to black. All right, let us pick up our wood. Oh, wait. One other thing I want to try. Now, this is going to be a little on the tricky side. We don't have to, but I would like to. I want to put an angle on here so that the lid is on an angle so water would bead off. So let us say this again. We won't have to worry about the back because the back's going to be the highest, front is going to be the lowest. So let us move this to red. Turn off our black. Now, how can we do this so that it... Basically, these are the same. Yes. Left and right are the same. So actually, we don't need one of these. We can get rid of one. We only have to do it to one side. A rectangle. We go 4 inches. Let's go 4.1. Let us put it on a 1 degree. There we go. There we go. Now we're off to something. Just, there we go. Now let us save this as it is. We're going to go to edit. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring these nodes down. Like so. We don't need this one anymore, but now we have 1 degree on the one side. We can group that and copy it. Paste. And this will be the opposite side. And just so we know what we're doing, we'll highlight it and we'll reflect it, mirror image it. I'll call it the right side. And then we'll group that as well. Now, we also have to take off from the front so that it's a little lower, otherwise it'll be sticking up as high as it was before. So let's create another rectangle. This time we'll just go longer. Up. And we're going to move it up just till it touches. Right there. I'm going to make sure these are in line. There we go. But they're perfectly in line. Ungroup it. We're going to edit again. Now, if we use the scissors and get rid of that, we don't need that. Let's go back to select. There we go. There we go. We're going to do the same to the opposite side. Scissors. I'm going to pull this node right to there. Go to our scissors. And pull this node right back to that node. There we go. Now we don't need the top anymore. Now we have the front will be smaller than the back. We can regroup this. And just so we see that it is. We have a little difference here. All right. Let us save it. And let us set up our wood and we'll try cutting it. Okay, now that we have everything ready to go, I've put the wood into the machine. Let's pick her up. Let's pick up the top. Make sure everything's connected. Yep, everything's ready, good to go. Pick up the top. Now I do have it elevated up on my paint stick so we don't get too many burn marks on it. Okay, let's pick up, make it a big square. There we go. Done. Now, let us start laying everything out. I removed the labels because we don't need them. Oh, looks like we're not gonna. Let's try 90 degree. Oh, this is going to be fun. Let's try this one. Again, we'll go 90 degrees. Try to fit her in there. Oh, this is going to be tight. Alright, well, we'll just have to go with these three then. Score that. All the rest are on off. Alright, let's frame it in. Okay, what I'm going to do first is I like scoring everything. For some reason I love scoring just to see everything, make sure everything comes out good. So let's score it. Make sure everything's going great before we cut it out. Alright, looks good. Let's switch over to cut. And let us continue. Let the smoke clear. Okay, so for here we take the screw and it fits in like that. So you slide it in and up and it stays. For the hole here, let's take, and it sits nice like that. Very nice. Okay. There's the other piece. The circles I'll save because who knows what we can do with those. Maybe make something of that. Now, let's get our other piece in here. These pieces we don't need anymore. Let's pick up the top again. Mark our area. These. Let's do the 90-degree thing again. Fit. Nope. So we are going to need another piece. All right, let's frame it in. Looks good. Score it. And off we go. Looks nice. All right, let's switch this to cut. And off we go. Alrighty. And put our last piece in. And from there, we can assemble it and we have a little box. Now the top isn't ready to be put on yet. We've got the mounting holes in the back. Now we're going to go stain it up. Alright. I'm going to grab my rag. Latex gloves would help, but I don't have any, so. And we're going to stain this up. Alright, it's good. Let that dry and we'll come back and I'll show you how to make a mixture to waterproof everything. It'll be clear coat, but it's a special waterproofing thing, and the water will just bead right off the wood when it's outside, so it'll be safe in the environment. Alright? Be back in a bit. Okay, so I've gone ahead, stained each panel. After it was dry, I promised you, I'm going to show you the way to waterproof it. Now, I saw this on the internet, and I go, well, how good could it be, right? So I tried it out. Blown away. Works fantastic. I did my park bench outside to test it out. After it was stained, I used the stuff, and you just paint it on, and now it does take a little longer to dry. 24 to 48 hours you let it dry, and then you can assemble it. But once that's done, it's waterproof, man. The water beads right off it. And I'm going to show you how to make this. It's so simple. So you go to the store and you buy yourself some silicone. So here's my silicone. It's in the caulking gun. Now, if you look on it, it should say 100% silicone. Very important. 100% silicone. Now, I use the clear. All right. You can use. I guess you could use color. I haven't tried that. What you'll also need: a bottle of mineral spirits. Now, also a glass jar. So my glass jars that I've been using, you know, I save those. I filled it a little bit with using the caulking gun. I put some silicone inside, just filled it up a little bit. Poured some mineral spirits into it. Not much, you know, just to cover it. You want to get it not quite watery, but not a super thick paste either. You want so it can be spread, and a little goes a long way. So basically, you end up. It looks a little milky, if you can see here. There's some crap floating around in there, but that's okay. But it stays nice. And then you paintbrush, paint it on after you've stained all your stuff, or let it dry, and it's waterproof. It's incredible. So now I'm going to take a piece that's been done, and I'm going to show you how waterproof it is. So, all right, check this out. All right, here's one of the top section pieces. I've gone ahead and painted it with the waterproofing. As you can see, it dries up nice, takes a little bit of time, but let's watch and see what happens when I pour water on it. A little bit of water here. All right, let's see, I want to make sure you can see that. Look at that. The water falls right off. That is incredible. So, now we'll wait till the other panels become completely dry. Yeah, the water just beads right off. That's amazing. Alright, the water beads off, so now it should be waterproof. We'll assemble it when everything's totally dry. Okay, so I used the waterproofing my gel I made. I waterproofed everything. I left it for 2 days to let it dry. And it dried on the top. I glued this together. When I glued it together, I used, which is on, solar light. I placed it inside, and I placed one on this side as well. Put some glue on the inside, and I just clamped it together so everything is central. Remove these. let it dry, and it works very well. I assemble the box, and this is what it looks like. She assembled very nicely. Got a lip on the bottom, got my screw holes in the back. I got a 1 degree angle in the front. So when I put my top on, I now have a 1 degree on the top. I can put the solar lights in. And that's how she looks. And when it gets all lit up, I don't know if you can see that, it's all lit up on the reflective. I put a reflecting acrylic inside, and I siliconed it to the front. Now if you do that, make sure you leave enough space for the top, because the top lip has to fit in as well. Everything's sealed off nice. So let's go put it on the front of the house and check and see how it looks. As you can see, it fits on the house very nicely. I don't know if we'll be able to see it from the road. Hopefully it'll be bright enough. But we'll take a picture of it later on tonight, okay? Well, that's our video for this week. It's the box is a little more advanced, fitting together and getting the clear acrylic and the silicone liquid I showed you how to make. I use that liquid on everything. My park bench outside, concrete blocks, it waterproofs everything. It's very, very nice stuff. In the house sign, the only thing I might change, I might make a new top. In case I find some brighter solar lights. The dollar store lights are not, the super brightest, but I like to look around for some really bright lights. But until then, it'll work for now. Alrighty. Until next time. Oh, one other thing. Thank you for all the subscribers. I found out I have something called Super Thanks down in my videos now. So if you click that, you want to send me a coffee or something, that'd be nice. I love my coffee. I don't drink alcohol, so hey. We're going to get on to some more projects soon. Probably pretty soon we're going to be new riser base to raise this up higher. Get some more clearance on the underside of that, and hey, it'll look good. On my shorts, if you've been watching my shorts, I've got all these new intros. I've been playing around learning the video program. It's coming along pretty good. And I'm thinking of using one of those shorts on my long form video, so because my intro is a little on the long, boring side. People, you see that, you go, nah, don't want to watch that. Maybe want to make it a little more interesting. Let me know which one of my intros you really like. Which is your favorite? All right, and we'll take a census and see which one's the best, and we'll put it on there. Or maybe we'll just mix and match every once in a while. All right. Until next time, Johnny Lazer. Happy lasering.